Hello and welcome. So happy to be back here with the Vitality Podcast and a woman who leads audaciously, Erica McKenzie. So delighted to have you here. Your presence is just such a delight, and I am inspired by you. So I wanted to share you with our listeners. Most importantly, your story, how you got here, and how you followed your interests, and where life led you to get you to where you are.
Oh my God, Jennifer, you say the sweetest things. You are so beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. My journey is one that has been very interesting. And from time to time, I find myself reflecting on it because it is, there's nothing special about it, but it's special, okay? It's special to me.
To me too.
And I'm sure, you hear the stories all the time. And so, there is some amount of depth to people that really have to go through things. And for me, it wasn't any different. I listened to the stories of people like Les Brown, who's one of the persons that inspires me. You talk about people like John Maxwell, who is my mentor. And, it's just the different things that people have to go through at different points. But for me, my journey started as a kid growing up with a single mom and two brothers that should I say this? I think they hated my guts because my mom, here's the thing, my mom used to have me read to my older brothers because I started reading at 2 years old. So yeah, weird, right? And then and I'll give you a story on that. My daughter, we will talk about Tatiana. She actually ended up started reading at 2 years old as well too. So I started reading at 2 years old. I was the one who was prompted to help to read my brothers they were going to high school at this time, or we call them all age school in our neighborhood. And I was asked to read to them. So, because they didn't know the words. So I would say from back then, and I've always wanted to be a teacher as the years went by. I went to a Salvation Army basic school. That's where I started my single mom, growing up in Jamaica, in a place called Linstead, St. Catherine. And life was tough. It was rough. I grew up on the rough and tough side of life. um I don't it wasn't the kind of home that people that you'd dream of. I mean, things were tough. There was financial challenges all around. My mom was really trying to make ends meet, and she really couldn't because she had 6 children and I was number 4. But one of the things I liked about what she did is when it was time for me to move on to high school, she saw my potential. And I think she went and she sought help from somebody else who helped me through school. So, what I've experienced, it really helps to shape who I am today, because the very same thing that somebody did for me, I'm now paying it forward. This is why I'm so passionate about helping children, because it's just about some of the things that I went through myself.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So even though things weren't the way they were supposed to be, I know my mom, she tried, and then if she knows she couldn't do it, she went and she sought help.
Amazing.
And I think that's just the beauty.
Yeah. So you were a smart cookie and she knew it, and she fostered it. But I can imagine your brothers had some animosity. Like, what is this, my little sis, who's smarter than me, reading to
and
me.
teaching me to read. Yeah. When I'm counting the words and she's just reading and flying through.
But that's an amazing training for you in humility. It's like, I know this person is upset at me because I'm smarter than them and I'm younger, so I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be, so you had to really strengthen that skill. A lot of times women don't really need to strengthen that skill until they come into their womanhood, right? And then there's all that sexuality, but you got to strengthen that muscle really young in a very, very intimate and deep way in one of those primary relationships. It's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I bet,
So
has it served you? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, there's
of
no,
course,
yeah. So
of
tell me more
course.
about that. Like, okay, so you went to high school and, how did you get to where you are now?
Well, I from as far as I can remember, 2 years old, really, I'm always about, there's one thing I always say, there's this one thing that is just consistent throughout my life. If you should look at my life on a curve, there's just this one thing you're gonna see. If there's nothing, it's just one thing you're gonna see that's been 100% consistent, and that is personal development. I'm always, always, always developing myself because um the I got into trouble and I got pregnant at 17 years old with my daughter. And that was not easy. This was when I was getting out of high school and I was now supposed to go to college. And here I have to be attending to a baby. I know we see these stories all the time. But that was it for me. And I said, okay, that didn't stop. Again, my guardian, she was very gracious to me. So she ensured that I went back to school, the subjects that I didn't get, make sure that we got those. And
Wow,
we,
amazing.
yeah, so it was just consistently growing, developing, starting from steps. So, there, whatever job I could find at the time, I did them. I was a
Mm.
waitress.
Yeah,
I
me too.
was doing, I was a cashier, so doing the odd jobs. Then I moved up
Yeah,
to do a receptionist at a hotel. So I've been through it. So I've been in a lot of industries in
yeah,
terms of, but in all of that, I never stopped growing. I never
yeah.
stopped learning, going to school, being
Mm.
more.
Yeah.
And then even with my daughter, so that wasn't an excuse. I took her to every school with me. She
Oh,
went when I was doing my associate degree, she was there at nights because when I pick her up from school, we're going to class. So
yeah,
here you are, let's
yeah.
go.
Oh, bless
So
you.
we didn't get home until late at night because she had to be out with me. It's not like I had a sitter or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. No, I
So
mean, this is
she had
incredible. That's why I
um,
knew that you were a woman that led and leads audaciously because
yeah,
you have done so much. And a woman who leads audaciously is one who's willing to take a step and it not be easy or even fail and then do it again. And just that resilience, a story of resilience. And your daughter really understands what hard work looks like and the
she
value of an
does.
education.
Yeah, yeah. So and she went through it all. I was doing from associate, then when I went to do my first degree, then all the way up to my master's, she was
Amazing.
there. Yeah, and
Amazing.
everywhere I go now, maybe for personal development, if I can, I take them along if it's possible.
Yeah.
So they may not be in the room, but they're close by, so they get to experience it when I can, and if time allows. Because now she's working.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
Last time, if I can, I take them along so they know.
And it's like osmosis. My daughter too. It's like when she speaks, it's like a self-help book, like all the time. It's just like
Yeah, and
osmosis, through
yeah,
the
and
wall.
yeah, and there's one thing that holds true even to this very moment. I don't leave home without my book,
Which
so I
one?
always have a
Which
book.
book?
So
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
me too. Right. I tried to read the novel
right.
the other day,
I could
Erica.
reach over. There's at least maybe two in my bag.
Exactly. Yes. And of
I
course,
don't know.
Audible. It's funny. So I tried to listen to a novel because a friend of mine said, this novel is so great. You gotta listen, you gotta hear it or read it. And so I started and I'm like, I go right back to my self-help book. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read this deeper dating book, or I'm gonna read, the Gospel's Essence of Peace, or whatever it is that I'm reading. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
same way. It's
yeah,
like,
because the thing is, these things, it helps because it really helps because if you prepare yourself before you need the help, then it's easier to cope.
totally. That's my whole reason for existence is that prevention model. It's like my daughter used to say, get ahead of the hunger when she was
Yes.
little. And then when she hit adolescence, she's like, well, we got to get ahead of the calories. And here it's like, you just got to get ahead of it. If you got, it's the only person who's going to save you is you. And you know that.
Yeah,
And to all of our listeners, and it's our job to get the education that we need.
100%.
And if we don't do it, it's the joke's on us, actually.
Exactly. And nobody knows what we need more than ourselves. It's true.
Yeah.
Because if we just sit still for a moment and really think into, and I know it's important to have a coach to come alongside you, because sometimes your coach can help you to bring clarity, which is one of the things that, and just to unpack some of the thoughts, which is one of the things I really helped my clients with is, in our coaching sessions, is really to help to unpack the clutter that's going on. But at the end of it all, it is you who is going to help together, you and I, we will solve the issue. Once you now come into awareness, I will help you to bring that to life. So you say, okay, something's going on. I can't really make 100%, sense of it. But how do I come alongside you and help you to kind of unpack the thoughts?
Yeah, because
And
we can't see what we can't see, Erica, right? And
yeah,
that's why the
can't see the
coach
picture when you're in the frame.
can be helpful, or just a good friend, who's also
Yeah,
into personal development, who's willing to be
yeah,
honest with you
yeah,
from a like bold and honest, because it takes a lot of
100%.
boldness to be honest and then to say what
Yes,
needs to be said from a place of love. But
yeah,
that is gold. Like, to have friends surround you like that, it's just gold. And all the women that I've interviewed in this process, yourself included, are in that
yeah,
space. And it's
yeah,
pretty spectacular.
yeah. And it's really good to have that support system to help you go through the time. But I know though that it's when we have that support, we have to pinpoint what that thing is that we're trying to figure out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
on the timeline, so you got your master's degree, you did all this amazing stuff to prepare for the world in your prevention model. I call it a prevention model. And so now, excuse me, I know you do a couple of different things. So could you tell us a little bit about like what you're up to today? Because I want everyone to learn about the capacity. Like, you're so
Listen,
capable.
I
I mean, you're
do
like, oh, I did this and I
a
did that.
couple
I'm
of
like,
things, right?
you've got like 10 arms, it's like, how does she do it all? So tell us what you're up to today.
So I'm a coach, and I'm a coach with Forbes Council and the John Maxwell team. So I do a lot of coaching, speaking, and my background and my training is in sales and marketing. So I focus on sales, marketing, and leadership. That's how I can serve you. So I also help clients with launching their brands and really getting their brand to market. So I do a lot of social media, and I love planning events. So you will see me doing a whole bunch of events, because that is a great way for us to really connect with an audience and connect with people through the events. So that is definitely a staple in our business, which is Creative Brands and Concepts Limited. And I also recently we partnered with a company in New York called Intentional Growth LLC. So, and it's pretty much the business model is similar. And it's a lot, I know. We also run a foundation which is called Creative Brands Caring Hands Foundations, who are helping parents and children with autism, because it's something that is dear to my heart, because it's something that is close to home. My son Dominic, which is my second child, lovely boy, so beautiful. He is overcoming autism, and so I understand the pain that moms have to deal with when they, one, learn about it, and two, to grow through it all. It can be very much a bit much. So I'm really passionate about providing the support. So that's what the foundation is for. It's pretty new, so we are, developing the arms of it, where we can better support parents and children, and also not just autism, but children, in terms of developing their leadership skills, because it's something that I think we really need to start developing from an early age.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because just to help them
Confidence,
to, yeah,
self-awareness,
confidence and, yeah, self-awareness. Yes,
and just understanding
precisely.
what they're really good at, right?
Exactly.
It's like they turn 18 and it's like, good luck, you're an adult now. There's like
Yeah.
all the support for adolescents and elementary. And then like all of a sudden it's like, well, okay, I'm good in English. Maybe I should study English in college. No,
Yeah.
these kids are not having it. Like they're ready. This generation is ready to find out what their purpose is, and
Yeah.
then to follow that. And college might be the answer. It also might be something else. So I think we're going through a total renaissance in what's happening with education. Um,
100%.
but like if you're just listening today and you can't see Erica, like she completely lit up, when she talked about event planning. My goodness, it's like so clear that
You're
you do
right.
love it. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh, the
So
branding is really important, but mostly because we can have the big event, plan the
see,
event. I love it.
it's so weird, Jennifer, that I mean something that is so stressful gives you so much joy because it is a lot of work.
It
Um,
is.
and
Yeah.
pulling a global event together is no joke. And most
Yeah.
of the events that we run, they're global events happening in over 30 plus countries. And we're coordinating to make things happen like clockwork. It's a lot. So
Yeah. So tell us about the next event. I think there's one coming up really soon. So tell us about that. What is that all about?
So
And
the
why should people
next
go?
event is Live to Lead, which is the global leadership event happening. The next one is on November 19th, and that is happening 100% online. And people can go and sign up at live, Live, the number two, Lead, Jamaica spelled out.com. And it's just the whole site where we were having a physical event in Jamaica on the 8th when it went live. So on November 19th, we get to run it again for a second time. So we want people to come on and check out this event. It's for leaders or for anyone who's looking to amplify their leadership and to really own in and really develop their skills as a person and your business. So it's not
Beautiful.
just personal, but also for your business because there are strategies there. There's a beautiful, so some of the speakers that are on this year, we have Jamie Kern Lima.
Nice.
She just wrote her book, Believe It, and she is the founder for IT Cosmetics.
Oh, she's amazing.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, she is amazing.
Yeah.
She's on. Jen, you ever heard her speak? You ever heard her
Yeah. I
story?
have. No, she's
Oh,
incredible. Yeah.
she's incredible.
Yeah.
So
She's a
Jamie
woman of
Lima.
faith. She's
Oh
just,
yes,
yeah, she's
yes,
incredible.
yes.
Like she doesn't even need to do what she's doing and she's just doing it.
Absolutely. And her
Just
story with L'Oreal, first female CEO, and she the very company and her products trying to get that to market, and she was told no so many times, and how she was so resilient. So we're happy to share her story with audience when
amazing.
they come to Live to Lead. It's amazing. She's going to share so much with you, especially our entrepreneurs who are really think they have to do it alone. And think that the whole world is crumbling. Come on, there's support for you. We'll support you on
Yeah.
your journey.
I mean,
Love,
really,
but we
like,
will. Yeah,
yeah, it's so beautiful. I mean, so go to the website, check out all the speakers.
yeah. Jeff
And hey,
Henderson,
who
John
doesn't?
Maxwell.
Oh,
Yeah.
John Maxwell. Wow. And who
Oh
doesn't want to be in
yes.
Jamaica in November? I mean, everywhere in the
Well,
world,
it's
it's pretty much
not
getting,
anywhere. You can join from anywhere because it's going to be 100% online.
okay, cool.
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so
good,
you
good.
can join from anywhere.
Nice.
Um, even China. Please log in. Go to LIVE, the number two LEAD,
Live
Jamaica.com.
to lead
Jamaica.com.
Jamaica.com.
Yep.
I love it.
And
You are.
get your stuff set up and registered there. It's only $79,
Oh, wow.
less than lunch. So
I know, right? These days with inflation, my
yeah,
goodness
I know, right?
gracious.
Yeah.
So
So
you're a mom of a special needs child, so I also heard a request embedded in what you said. So I just want to say to all the women who are listening, if you have resources that you've used for your autistic child, please get in touch with Erica. Please be a part of this community because like you said, and Erica, I know firsthand, not because I have an autistic child, but I have a special needs child who tends to be around a lot of autistic children. So I've experienced a lot of the journeys of moms and recoveries. Like I loved how you said, my son is, did you say recovering from, or what did you say? You used a
I like
specific
to
word.
say overcoming. He's overcoming.
Overcoming,
Yeah.
because it's possible to overcome it. I've seen
Yeah.
it with my own two eyes. And so if we could all come together and share, because there
Yeah.
isn't a guidebook. yet.
Exactly.
But there should be, and it's up to us moms to create it. And some dads, I don't want to exclude the
Yeah.
dads, but the moms
I
usually
think
tend
you
to
could
lead.
lead, right. But I'm so grateful. One of the things I found with that is that give them love. They if
Oh,
they're in a really loving, they
yeah.
flourish.
Love is
Because
always the
I remember my
answer.
son was he was speaking and then he stopped, and then with therapy, he's talking again, and I'm really grateful for that. I remember I prayed, and
Mm,
I'm so grateful that he is for where he is right now. He's at school full
yeah.
time, so
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing.
So I'm gonna say,
I just am guided to mention plasmalogens just to like as a seed. Okay. So
yes.
right now, it's a new term, but I would love for anyone who's interested in learning more about the brain, whether it's cognitive impairment or autism or even ADHD, look into plasmalogens. It's a new essential fatty acid that's helping the brain to completely restore itself. Totally fascinating, amazing research. It's just come out, and it's taken cognitive performance to a whole new level. But anyway, we are running short on time, and I want to know how you do it all, Erica, because you have not been given the silver spoon. You had a child, in your teenage years. You've worked really hard to get to where you are. How do you do it all? Like, what's your key to balance? Because I've just never met someone so capable with so much grace.
Well, for me, I'm plugged in. My faith is very strong,
Thanks.
and that comes through, of course, the self-help books. You and I were talking earlier. I do read a lot of self-help books like Think and Grow Rich, and
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite books, and Atomic Habits,
Yeah.
and of course, Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been plugged in with John Maxwell and this and a lot of training. So I really focus a lot on self-development. That's one. But two, I also balance that out. I like I put certain rituals within my day. I
Tell
like
me more.
to, um, for me, my resource centers is reading. So that's one. I'm really
Nice.
big on that,
Yeah.
which what I just shared. So that way it really helps me to prepare for the journey before it actually happens. So you can have these things to remind you, before you need it. So that's why I do it. So you have this resource center. It's like a data bank of information that can help you to get through situations before you need them.
I love
And
it.
of course, I work out, run up a hill. When I'm in Jamaica, I'm near a hill. I'm going to, I remember sometimes I'm up and down with that, but I want to dive in more because I realize when I do it, it makes me so much better. When I
Right.
work out so much more, it's like it's just a whole new level of energy that just unleash on you. When I don't do it, if I don't do it, oh my gosh, you just go.
I know, right? I
Yeah,
love
so
it.
it
So
really
sounds
helps.
like I'm going to summarize and tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
God or faith,
yeah.
taking radical responsibility for
Oh
everything
yes,
in your heart,
extreme
mind, and
ownership.
spirit,
Yeah.
and running up hills. I mean, what a great analogy for like your life, right?
Running up
I mean,
hills.
you are just so beautiful. I hope that you can like just appreciate how beautiful you are in your full expression. So
Thank
beautiful to
you.
witness you.
Yeah, and then the thing is, I do the hills because I from time to time I'll post videos in the moment when you're running up the hill because it's so challenging. I
Oh,
pull my own lessons out of it, so I normally share something on Facebook to say lessons
oh.
from my workout. So you'll find some of them there.
I love that.
Yeah,
I might actually try that. Can I try that?
of course. Yeah.
For because it happens
So
every day almost, and I never
yeah,
thought to just share it. Of course, that's so
yeah,
obvious. I mean,
yeah. Because
because it's a
sometimes
collective, right? So
exactly,
what you're breaking through, I'm probably experiencing too, just because we are
exactly,
all connected.
exactly.
So cool.
So
I
yeah,
love that.
so I do that, and I do plan to share more of those. Sometimes life get in the way, you don't get to share as much, but I do plan to do more of that in the coming months. So yeah, Blessings from my workout. So
I love it. You were just such a delight. And thank you for being with us. And is there
thank
anything,
you.
any other words of wisdom you want to leave our listeners with before we?
I know right now the whole world is going through a pandemic and things are happening, but I'm going to say to you, don't get distracted by all of this distraction. And I know it's hard to say that. And I know there are people out there who are hurting because they have lost loved ones. And I just want to let you know that there is hope. I'm happy to come alongside you and to help you, to coach you through the journey, and to help you if you're struggling with your business. You have a team of people and things that get really, really tough sometimes. I understand. I've been there, and still do it every day. I help clients with their business and with their team members, and I know people struggle with issues which they take into the company, or you yourself, you're struggling with different issues and you can't figure it out. So I'm happy to come alongside you and help with that. For direct contact or resources, you can reach out to me at creativebrandsandconcepts.com. That's Creative Brands, CREATIVE, Brands, BRANDS, and Concept, ANDCONCEPTS.com. So creativebrandsandconcepts.com. And I'm happy to help in whichever way I can. Just call us up and we're happy to help.
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much, Erica. Please reach out to her. Her unique vibration has its place, and she understands what it takes. There's no doubt about it. So excited for all of the people who are going to reach out to you. All right, be well. Take good care.
Thank you so much.